fridge piece. I like the smoke in the background. Yeah. Moving vines. Gonna charge like a little bit of soul here and then we can heal. Lore, all the lore. Climb here. But I can't. Wait. Can I pogo on you guys? Not like this at least. I mean, the idea is good, I feel like. I can probably just pogo along there. I don't have to, you know, make it complicated. Huh. Something new? A journal? I still don't know, like the journals themselves are also only like collector's items if I recall correctly, right? I can't actually read in them. Forgotten dialect and difficult to understand, okay. Weird worms. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short, exactly. Okay, can I get you to... Wait, you're one of those guys. Okay, you are actually throwing your spears. I don't like this. I absolutely don't like this. I'm gonna die. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I will. Rip me. Okay, it's time. I've forgotten what that command reads. Wait, I'm still... Yeah, I'm still here. Okay. That's at least real death for today. And now I just have to climb down there again. I mean, this time I'm just gonna not die. That sounds like a good plan, if you ask me. Gonna get like some soul first. And, you know, not get overwhelmed by enemies I've fought like a dozen times already. Yeah. You deserve death. Smack, smack, and through here. At least it should be like really easy now that I know where to fall, basically. By the way, before I forget, could I do something over here? Oh, this is that elevator or what? No, wait. We've not been there, huh? Huh. Might have to take that elevator later on, but I kinda want to reach my shade first. Calculated fall, by the way. Okay, I have to go down here. Exactly. Okay, this one should be a lot easier now that I'm prepared to fight. Instead of, you know, losing all my health to weird wormy spikes. Pogoing is so great. I love it. Okay, you again. This reminds you of something. I'm gonna check it out in a second. You wanna talk to me about Minecraft stuff? We can talk about that at some point, sure. I don't know if it's like the best moment here currently. Depends on what it is. But otherwise you can always shoot me a DM, you know. I probably have some time after stream to read that. Give me dish. Yeah, sure. As always, like my DMs are always open, no worries. Yo, jumper. Back before I end. Exactly. How was bouldering? Or did you go bouldering already? Give me some more smicks. Okay. Okay, now I'm back at my shade. It's like so much easier if you're actually playing the game instead of just, you know, doing stupid stuff. Wait, did he just use one of my spells? Ouch. Was fun, you're shit at it, but you recommend? To be fair, like I only went bouldering once in my life and I was like around... like, I have to kind of set up the situation, right? Like I talked about how I had like a lot of surgeries as a kid. This was like when I was around 16-ish. I was like basically barely done with all my surgeries. And a friend of mine invited me to his birthday party and we went bouldering. It was like really fun, but it's like two problems there. First of all, I'm like terribly afraid of heights. It's like so awful. And also I had like no strength in my whole body. So I never really managed to climb higher than like 2 meters or something like that. Also there's like the beginner's path, but there was like some ledge I just couldn't climb around. So that was like a good thought. Like it was fun, a little bit of movement, but compared to like all my other friends who like all were like playing like football consistently and stuff. Ooh, gate. Like, I just couldn't keep up, but that wasn't actually something too new. A mechanism with a slot for some kind of pass. Oh, it's like one of those gates again. So I'm guessing I need to get like the weird gondola there. I don't know. However, I would do that. Okay, this seems to be like some mill station. Here's a secret path when it's not lit up. I do like secret pathways. Not quite as brooding. Oh, wait. Your goop is actually acidic, I guess? A regular Mawlek, not a brooding one? Okay, what are you? Not a Humph. A lesser Mawlek, okay. Interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I don't know why they start... Ooh, more of those seals. Why they start brooding at some point. And why your acid is stronger. So in general, you seem kind of strong. Ow. Could I please, like, not be stupid for just a moment? Just a brief moment? Yeah, I get your goop. You like your goop. Just gonna smack you once again. I did hear like a worm guy. What's that? Acid snot bubble off the walls? I don't even know how that makes sense. Does one need a reason to start brooding? I mean, I guess it's just part of becoming an adult, I guess, or something like that. I'll shoot you a little bit. I don't like how many enemies there are and how awkward you are to fight just because of your attacks. Like the weird dashes. I can probably do that. And then pogo. As always, pogos are the answer. Nice. Oh! I was worried there for a second. My some have a... oh yeah, an RBF. My version is a resting brooding phase. I mean, I'm brooding all the time. Hey, Clove, we haven't seen each other in some time. My friend, you dealt with all those beasts? I'm ashamed to say. I was hiding. Those ghastly things chased me and I ran. If you hadn't come along, who knows if I'd ever have survived. Others take me for a fearsome warrior. What with my impressive size, but as kingdom's beasts? I wonder if I'm just no match for them. Ho-ho! Enough! I cannot wallow in my weakness. I must take strength from your example. You act so confident in battle. You show no fear before your foes, and you just stand in them when they attack you all the time and just heal later on. I try my best to do the same. What a war cry, exactly. Such luck. This tiny one appears at just the right moment, and what masterful skill it shows. As a warrior, it sets a powerful precedent. I do well to learn from its form. I mean, you should absolutely learn from its form and just, you know, face tank everything. Ooh, your second favorite NPC. I mean... ooh, wait. This was really stupid. I'm gonna die here. Yep. Why, by the way, are those guys harder than, like, most of the enemies? Well, anyway, map was updated. Probably with that... wait a second. City of Tears? I don't know what part this is, but it's certainly not on my map. Which means this is a new area, which makes sense. But this is part of another area because it's drawn in. I don't know. You know, I would have been surprised had it not been for, like, more of those enemies, because I mentioned this before, like, the first few enemies definitely were, like, kind of on the easy side for me. And I kind of mentioned that I would expect the game to really like, you know, what do I want to say? Like, basically up its difficulty at some point. And I was right about that, and I do appreciate that. Right, like, I don't mind flying through some of the enemies every once in a while and figuring stuff out early. But if it's, like, consistently the whole time, like, that's fun in, like, a 10-hour game, but I'm guessing this is going to be, like, closer to, like, a 40 to 60-hour game. I don't actually know. How long is Hollow Knight? I have no idea. We're just gonna think that's going to be around that time. And I do appreciate just being able to be stupid every once in a while and just dying to random stuff. So I feel less stupid about dying to bosses, I guess. But I still would like some kind of damage upgrade. I have to admit. Do I want to know how long it took for your first playthrough? I mean, sure, why not? That's probably fine. I feel like I've looked up how long Hollow Knight is at some point, I just forgot. So. And also it's going to be probably quite different to yours at some point. 126 hours? Well, I guess this is a time to beat. I can probably do that. Because just at some point I got like an achievement for a certain percentage. I want to say it was like half of the map. Or like half of the... What's it called? Like the stack stations. And I've gotten that like a stream or two ago. So I feel like I've actually explored like a lot of the map already. Like percentage-wise. At least like of the rough areas. But since it's a metroidvania, I'm expecting there to be a lot of backtracking at some point. I mean, maybe. Maybe there's just no stack stations at some point. That could also be true. You know? I'm just gonna be stupid. You know, last time I talked about how stupid this action is. Like, I should absolutely not be doing that like this all the time. Exactly, did I just go down here? Yeah. What's that hole? The hole! And I went to the second hole. And now I can fight some more of you guys. Already hating us. Like, this one is actually really awkward. I don't actually know how I would time that. Can kind of get you out of there. We're going forward. Yeah, exactly. The compass is overrated. To be fair, I stand by that decision because... Wait, I climbed up here, yeah. I stand by this decision because there are basically no moments where I feel lost without a compass. Like, every once in a while I have to kind of figure out where I am. But I feel like this is just like a mini challenge in between, like a little puzzle. At most. And the compass doesn't actually help, I'm guessing, while I'm outside of the map, because I can still not see where I am, basically. I can just figure out that I'm, like, to the left of the existing map. Did I go... Didn't I die down there? That's my shade. Did my shade spawn up here? Like, I know sometimes the shade spawns, like, in a different area. Which is why I want to stay up here first. Ow. You know, just in case. Could you, like, not goop me for, you know? I'd like to be ungooped. Just for a little bit longer. Probably easier to do it like this. Alright. No, don't worry about it. Like, I understand like most of the stuff as lighthearted teasing. I just like to, you know, overblow my reaction because I think it's funnier. Okay, I'm guessing the shade is actually down that hole. I hope. Well then. Okay, how do I deal with you? I wanna get the shade first. Okay, this is not the smartest decision here. Okay, kinda worked. Ow. Okay, worked out. Exaggerated reactions are a must for streamer? Same, kind of. I will, like, especially for, like, this is, like, basically an inside joke, I'm gonna call it, like a streamer joke, like, the same with, like, the goose moment. Like, I wouldn't have, like, edit, like, this is, like, one of the things, like, I always joke about, like, how I'm not a goose and stuff. But I was actually the one who added that command after Cat asked me to. Because Cat didn't actually know how to do it themselves, so... Pale ore. So, obviously, right, like, I have to do, like, most of the modded stuff. I am my own undoing. To be fair... I did kinda, you know, barter down from like 2 or 3 commands down to 1, so I feel like that's fine. Pale ore, rare pale metal that emanates an icy chill, prized by those who craft weapons. Does that mean I can craft a new weapon? Maybe. Don't know where I would do that. There's probably a smithy somewhere. Barter the roast. There's a days today where your social confidence is low. I mean, to be fair, I don't feel like I'm the most readable person in general. Ooh. You know what? Maybe I misjudged you, weird screaming bird guys. You're actually quite fine if you can just murder all the guys like one hit. I don't actually know why I'm removing all that goop. It's probably a wise choice. It feels like something I should be doing. I don't actually know. Does it hurt me, maybe? I mean, those definitely hurt me if I stand inside of those explosions, but I'm talking about, like, the goop. Can't go through here. This seems like a secret wall? Maybe? Oh, wait. Oh, this is where I am. Okay. Yeah, do your weird attacks. Ow! Like, so much reach. It's crazy. No. That worked out fine. Look at all the geo. I should probably store that somewhere. When I'm at it, I feel like... Maybe I missed something, but obviously we don't have a map to recheck. But I feel like this is probably just a loop to get that ore. Since it's the first one I found, I'm guessing it's like really rare. Or it's just something that kind of opens up once you reach the mid-game. Either way. I feel like I can just continue down here in a second. Also, I don't know if I've actually talked about this, but like recently it's been like really cold in my area. Like it's been ancient basin. It's been like slowing for like 2 or 3 days by this point, right? And like I don't actually have the heating on in my room like ever, which means it's like only like 15 degrees Celsius, which is also like why I'm wearing this blanket thingy, right? You know, I would call it like the rope of boss slaying, but I feel like I'm not really slaying enough bosses for that. So, yeah. It's just kind of inconvenient. Like, the problem is I don't really keep my windows closed for long enough. There are only 2 real time slots where I could do that. One of them is like when I'm sleeping, but like while I'm sleeping I'm under my blanket anyway, so I don't actually mind it being extra cool. And the other time would be streaming. The problem is, like, one of the heating components, or like the heater thingy itself, is like directly behind my microphone, basically. And once I turn the heating on, obviously the water's gonna stream through there, and you can actually hear that. So that's kind of annoying. That's cold. I mean, the only time you had 15 degrees Celsius in your apartment was when, in your first winter when the heating was broken. I mean, my heating is off. It's basically the same thing. like, don't forget that I'm also living in a basement, so that also kind of adds to it. So, which, by the way, I really appreciate, like, I really like, because I prefer to be cold. Like, I remember when I made, like, the decision to move downstairs, basically, was during one summer. It was, like, really freaking hot that summer. Wait a second. First I'm gonna inspect this, and then I'm gonna finish that story. A true servant give all for a kingdom. Let Hollowness Pale King relieve you of your burden. I mean, I just wanted to store the geo somewhere, so why not store it here? So, like, here's the thing about basement. There are, like, basically 3 reasons why I like this place. First of all, this room used to be basically, like, my second, like, I'm gonna call it, like, a playroom when I had, like, friends over and stuff. My room was, like, kind of awkward to, like, play with friends in, like, back when I was a kid, like, we're talking about, like, 10 years old or so. So this was kind of the room my friends and I would play in. Also, this was the room where I had like my TV and like my consoles, because at some point my parents were bothered by me playing consoles in the living room, because that meant that they couldn't watch TV. So this was like basically my second room anyway. And especially later on, like around like 11th grade, when I started playing like tabletop RPGs, I had like a lot of friends over for that like every single week. And I used this room anyway for, meeting them, because we had like a group that was like 10 players big at some point, and it just had like extra tables and all that stuff here. And this is like the second reason. This room is like actually quite large that I'm living in. Like, I looked like back when I was still working, I kind of looked like for a place to stay, because obviously had I continued to work, I would have obviously moved out. But every single place I found that I could have afforded would have been at most as big as this room. And this is just like my bedroom, basically. I still have like 2 bathrooms, a living room, and a kitchen, all that stuff together. You know, it's like kind of crazy. And the last reason is basically like there was like this one summer, it was like really hot. And it was actually one of the summers I went out a lot, because I had like for school, we had like a project where we were supposed to drive a lot around with a bicycle. And I took like some measurements in like some places. It's like not that important, but exactly what I did. But I remember like coming home like late in the evening every day with like really sunburned, because I wasn't prepared for that. And like my parents were just like, why don't you sleep in the basement? And I just did it, like got like a mattress down here, slept there, and it was like the most heavenly sleep I ever had, because like down here, even in summer, was like 90 degrees Celsius or something like that. So, yeah, the housing market is crazy. This is actually another small anecdote. So when I was working, like I do not live in Berlin. I feel like I already talked about this, right? I actually live far away from Berlin. But like my company I worked for also had like another, let's call it like another department that worked in Berlin. And the guy who kind of, how do I explain it? Let's just call him my boss. It wasn't my boss, but let's call him my boss just to make it simple. He kind of asked if I wanted to work in that department, right? Like I could have worked in my city, or I could have moved to Berlin. And I seriously had to like hold myself back to just shout at him and be like, you do realize that with like the pay that I'm getting, I cannot afford a home in my city. How am I supposed to afford a place in Berlin? Like seriously, and I'm not gonna drive for like 4 hours every day just to reach my place of work. Right, at some point you're just working to live, basically. Or like the other way around, like living to work. So yeah. Do I use sunscreen right now? Like, I mean, currently I'm inside, but normally when I go outside and I know that I'm gonna be outside for a lot of hours, I'm definitely using sunscreen. But like, basically, the project that I was... we could choose the project we wanted to go to. There was one... they didn't actually tell us what exactly this project entailed, but they talked about something like doing like Excel sheets. And it was like, oh, that sounds easy. I can just sit in front of a PC. I am just gonna drive my bike to school, and it's going to be fine. And then I'm just gonna sit inside, so I don't need sunscreen. Yeah, and then like it was like my physics teacher in the next year actually. He was like, "Oh yeah, we are going to take some ground measurements in like this area. So let's hop on our bikes and like first of all, ride the bike for like half an hour, and then stand around for like 8 hours taking ground resistant measurements or something like that." Exactly. But it was actually kind of fun, except for the sunburn. Like I was so red, it was crazy. And also, I basically was like at a field. And I didn't know how to get home from that place, because that was before I had a smartphone. But I didn't know how to get back to my school, which was further away. So I first had to drive for like half an hour to my school, and then from my school for like 45 minutes back home. So I was so lost, yeah. And it wasn't actually that far. It was just a place I never was in. So anyway, I'm just gonna drop all the geo into the fountain here. It's probably fine, right? I don't need geo. A true servant gives all to the king. Let Hellona's pale king relieve you of your burdens. I feel scammed. I needed the compass. Yeah, I needed the compass in real life. Like, this is like another funny thing. I am really great at orienting myself. If I've been to a place before, like refining a place or like retracing a track that I walked before, is really easy for me. I cannot remember. Like, I couldn't explain it, but there's like some sort of way for me to intuit a pathway that I've walked before. But like, if you show me like a map of a place, I am going to struggle so much finding that place. You're back, welcome back, Pixels. What were we yapping about? First of all, I threw Geo away, and then we were yapping about bicycles and basements, basically. In time to take you out. Well then, I hope you enjoy the lurk. You know, I'm just gonna give you like a hall pass, and you just have to switch it out every time. Only one person can have one. It's like during exams. Wait, I can climb up here. I still feel very scammed by this position. Wait. Conifer should be around here, right? I mean, I've heard them before. I'm guessing they're just below here. Oh. I don't have Geo for a map. I should have done that first. True, and the crazy housing market. Oh, caverns, these ones. Can't you just feel the weight of the kingdom above? It's a heavy thing, alright. I reckon not many to reach these depths. We are pioneers, you and I. At least in recent history. No! 112 Geo. Which coincidentally is the number you have to, you know, put into your phone if you actually want to reach the fire department or like the police. I always mix those up. Is it police or fire department? Like one is 110 and the other is 112. It's actually not that important. Like you can call either one. You're going to get help, but still. You don't have enough Geo? Ah, I understand. I'd give you the map as a gift, but I don't think my wife would be very happy if I did. All our food is made of Geo, as they say. Yeah, that's not really such thoughts for putting the fountain right before the corner. To be fair, I did hear them. I just was kind of distracted by throwing Geo away. Huh. And getting scammed, I guess. You know, this is truly a quad 1 moment. If I've ever seen one. Anyway, I feel like I have to climb further down. Is 112 the general emergency number? Might be. I feel like Cat mentioned something, like we talked about emergency numbers before. Might be in Europe in general. But we also have like 110. And for some reason one of them leads you to like police and the other one to firefighting department basically. So... Inspect the toy machine. This game! I will not insert Geo, I guess. Can I pogo on those spikes? Yes. Why am I pogoing? I can just... I could have just used the crystal dash. But pogoing is so much fun. Oh? Like, give me, like, 112. That's not 112 Geo. That's like a lot less Geo. I'm just gonna do that then. Ow, that's... Come on, game. That's a throw. Actually, almost cancelled the dash in time. Wow. Oh, didn't miss you. It's just kind of rude. Also kind of weird that they don't... Wait a second. Are we that far to the left? Like map-wise? Because we went down here somewhere. Because we do have the cliff, but the cliff is like so far to the west side basically. I'm just gonna call it west, or like the left side of the map. Kinda would expect there to be some connection to that. That's another door. Looks kinda doory. Huh. I should probably not do it like this. How about I'm just gonna fall straight down? Just murdered something. You know, sometimes I don't feel right about all this murder. Just sometimes though. Most of the time it's fine. Oh, come on. The power of Pogo wasn't strong enough. Didn't compel you. This looks weird. Goop. Kinda reminds me of resin now that I see it like on a wall. Oh. Puking Mawlek? You're gonna try and take a small nap before your family needs you? All in bliff? I mean, I do appreciate that, and, you know, I hope you enjoyed the nap. Quote added, by the way. And also don't forget to put like the Hollow Knight. You know, I can do that later. Don't worry about it. Okay, you're just gonna goop. You know, that's like the main reason I want to have... Can I... That's probably the stupidest idea that I had, but I'm just gonna go through here and not gonna fight you. I don't know, I need kind of a, you know, group defense first. More of you guys. Wait. Oh, wait, the floor isn't... Okay. I feel kind of scammed because I, for some reason, thought the floor would also damage me. It's not just the balls. Just walk through here. No worries. Cannot just walk through this guy, though. You're shooting down there sometimes, though. Need to pay attention. Okay. This is definitely a focus moment. There is no... By the way, there's no quote editing. You have to delete it and remake it. It's kind of stupid. You were kind of surprised the red floor was safe? Yeah, I mean, normally, like, we just had some enemies where the red floor wasn't safe, which is why I expected so much, like, of this fight. Yeah, that worked out. Exactly, delete quote. No, quote delete. The other way around. It's always what you're trying to interact with and then the action. I know the bot is kind of weird in that sense. I'm gonna, you know, make a better quad bot with, like, I don't know, blackjack and hookers or something like that. You know what? I could be a lot smarter about this fight, I feel like. Yeah, no. To be fair, you know, with you using Streamlabs, that's right? I'm using Stream Elements, you're using Streamlabs. Basically, that one does it the other way around, if I recall correctly, so it kind of makes sense. Also, I do appreciate that it kind of writes down the name of the thing already. Like, the main thing I kind of want to do is, you know, create a bot where I can actually write in, like, what kind of shorthand I want to have for a quote. And since I would create, like, my own database for it, I could also more easily edit it at the end, so, you know. But yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Appreciate all the hard work. Okay. Why did I do this? Am I like in some sort of snail shell currently? Just because I feel like we are going in like a loop. Okay. You know. Can I... I can always... Yeah, I'm worried about this one attack because there's like one of them that's actually in a position where it can hit me while I'm close by. Well, by the way, I just wanted to check out if... Exactly, they do have cool attacks, but I wanted to check out if it's actually a puking Mawlek. Mawlek. Large immobile creature. Wildly spits venom when intruders pass by. That's not quite the name I would have chosen. Wait. Ghosts? Puke ghosts? I mean, this is definitely a new room. Right, it's not connected to anything. I'm still kinda confused by the layout of this whole thing. Just a little bit though. And I hope that Cordovar is still back there, that I don't have to go back to Dirtmouth. Oh! Oh, that's where I am. Okay, it's that door.